Cold brew with wings. The cold brew has wings. All right, so it's almond, chocolate, cacao. We got some other ingredients, some guar gums and gums in there, sea salt, potassium citrate, calcium carbonate, sunflower lecithin, non-GMO. That's good. No BPAs. Vegan, carrageenan-free, kosher, and gluten-free. Caffeine strength, it says mild. 50 milligrams per serving, 4 servings per container. So that's pretty big. And there's about 1 serving left. I don't even come close to a serving. I do like a couple, maybe an ounce of this, 48 ounces. I like it sweeter, but it's not too bad. Kind of getting used to it. Yeah, it's powerful. I didn't eat enough, and I could feel like it's already going to start giving me jitters. All right. So I don't know if you're like me and you melt down with coffee, or it gives you the jitters, right? This is not an organic. It's non-GMO, but you know, I say the organic's better. Maybe you get less jitters. Coffee experts would know. I am not a coffee expert. So when people ask me about coffee, I say, well, it's controversial. You know, a lot of my friends, knowledgeable friends, doctors, lawyers and stuff, but nutrition people, not necessarily doctors, but knowledgeable, you know, nutrition geniuses, gurus, coaches. You know, there's people out there who use caffeine, and in different forms, it's going to have different properties. So green tea, more antioxidants, maybe less jitters. If it's organic, you know, they say, Bergman was saying it can stimulate your thyroid. He's going to get me some research. I'm delving into the research. If you got anything PubMed, hit me up. You know, whatever, link it up down below. If you got some videos, Ray Pete. It'd be interesting to get some people on the show and do some interviews. If we could get Amanda Vollmer maybe, or Ray Pete, I don't know, Mercola. Let me think. We could get like maybe Billy DeMoss on. He's a celebrity, and I'm not sure if he's a coffee guy, but you know, he does cigars, and you know, it's kind of an upper nicotine. You got your nicotine, your caffeine. I got your coffee all over my face here, so pardon me while I freshen up. So I look at myself in the lens. To take that out on editing. I should have it like that. But we don't. So we're just talking to you with coffee mustache. It's how it goes around here, all right? But it's chocolate mocha mocha. So we got a little caffeine. You know, I'd be hypocritical to say don't use it at all, but it's like good for those mornings, you know, when you can't get out of bed. But why can't you get out of bed, right? Why are you sluggish in the morning? Maybe you're staying up late. Maybe it, you know, need a little more exercise. You can go to bed earlier. It could be the screens, the blue light poisoning at night. Be wary of that. You know, my people know. The mitochondriacs know what's up. All right, so be a mitochondriac. If you're not a mitochondriac, you may want to check out being one. Dr. Cruz, Kruse. He's on Facebook and all over the place. A retired neurosurgeon. So, you know, he knows the science, and he posts it even on Facebook. So people want to dismiss Facebook as a source, but, you know, whatever. PubMed links are the highest held research on the period, right, on the hegemonic scale of research. So, yeah, research, me-search, but, you know, how do you interpret the research? Is there bias in the interpretation? Are you biased? And if so, comment down below, all right? Like, if you love your coffee and I can't take it away from you, and, you know, you hate it whenever I say something bad about coffee, then let me know. You know, you might be addicted. And I'm sure there's positives and negatives. And when people ask me about it, I'll say, hey, it's a diuretic, right? So it does dehydrate you. You drink some more coffee, you got to pee more, right? So drink more water. It's better to stay hydrated. It's possible, you know, that if you drink too much coffee and not getting enough water, that, you know, maybe you're not getting enough hydration into your tissues and your cells. And, you know, certainly that's going to affect your health in the long run. So, you know, there's implications like is it what are the studies like? I should be breaking it down for you guys, but I'm no expert on the Java, right? I know that I know nothing, so I need to learn. I want to know what the research is. Do people in the blue zones drink caffeine? Do you live longer? Is it linked? Right? Is it linked to longevity? Is it linked to athletic performance? Arguably so, right? I'm sure there's a lot of benefits to caffeine. Stimulate metabolism. Maybe you can't get off the couch to exercise, and so a little coffee, boom, gets you up, gets you out there, right? So in that regard, it could be beneficial, right? So I'm not hating on it. I'm certainly drinking it a little bit myself, but I use it sparingly. I think people who are drinking 9 cups a day are alarming. That's alarming to me. It just scares me. Now, I just maybe have some misinformation, and you can correct me. That's all good. But I want to see where you're getting it from, right? What does the research say? What's your data? Is it anecdotal? How many, individual personal accounts have you accumulated, right, to present this anecdotal position? Either way, I think we're going to learn a lot together, people, all right? And the goal here is longevity. It is optimal health. Maybe you don't want to live forever, but maybe you want to live a little longer, and it's all about quality of life, right? As you age, you want to age gracefully. You want to look good, right? You want to avoid those wrinkles or whatever, the stress lines, and certainly what you put into your face matters, okay? That's the point. Pay attention to what's going into your face. Every time I go down a rabbit hole of nutrition, right, or diet, or what I'm feeding my face, there's always positives and negatives. And so what are you emphasizing, right? Like, I started eating salmon. I wasn't into fish as a kid, but I'm like, yeah, salmon, superfood, really good for you. Research, PubMed research shows and whatever. Fish is digestible, lots of nutrients, easily digestible, easily assimilated, and so the body loves it, right? And yet, mercury. Well, is there too much mercury? Maybe in some areas, maybe in general. And, maybe seafood is tainted and a bad idea in general. But according to Dr. Cruz, he's a big proponent of oysters and shellfish and fish. Yeah, in general. And also he eats meat. I don't eat meat. I'm kind of a ovo-lacto-pescatarian. And, whatever. There's spiritual reasons involved now as well as just dietary. But the quest started as dietary and then it ended up spiritual. So I'm not trying to eat animals or birds anymore. But nutritionally, I think that you can definitely derive some good nutrition from those sources. And people do. And again, the natural sources like hunting, yourself or fishing yourself in clean environments, I think is fantastic. So, we're getting a lot of factory farmed protein, and I think it's coming to an end. There's a lot of politics and business swaying the natural environment, and who knows, we might see a meatless society real soon. So, I know you don't want to give up your meat, but we're not talking about the meat here, right? We're talking about coffee. So it's the great coffee debate. If you hate coffee, if it melts you down, if it ruined your life, if it just gives you stress and anxiety, let me know. Comment down below. If you're an Alex Becker fan and you've seen him, go off on the coffee and how getting off the coffee was the best thing he ever did, and or the caffeine. Try to remember the video, but yeah, comment down below. Hit me up. We got DCTROY.LIFE is the website. There'll be videos up there soon. We're going to have some good stuff for you, some good free stuff for sure, and who knows what will be there. Endless possibilities, all right? But all, to make life for you more rewarding and certainly more healthy. As a chiropractor, we do learn nutrition, and some chiropractors that I know practice nutrition over adjusting. Some chiropractors can't adjust at all, and they just teach you how to de-stress and and eat better. So that could be bigger, right? Like the point where you have pain or you're coming into a chiropractor, usually, we're putting out the fire, right? And prevention is always the best medicine. So if a little coffee is going to make you healthier, you might need less adjustments, right? Certainly toxicity is a cause for subluxation, which is rectified by adjustment. So if you're subluxated, you get adjusted. We relieve the subluxation and free your nervous system so that you could operate, more optimally. Okay, we need your brain to communicate with your body and your body to communicate with your brain. Interference anywhere in between, in your spine especially, is where we're operating. Can block a lot of information, and so the brain might have to send the signal twice. Maybe your reflexes aren't as fast. Maybe your muscle movements aren't as coordinated. Certainly, if your neck has problems like mine does, you can have cerebellar dysfunction, vestibular dysfunction, all kinds of dysfunction. And we want to keep you functioning. All right, so the 3 causes of subluxation are trauma, thoughts, and toxins. Okay, so the body can certainly make toxins if you're stressed out. That's why thoughts, right? Trauma is kind of obvious. Repetitive microtrauma, not so obvious. But we see that a lot with chiropractic. It's insidious. And toxins, right? So toxins are everywhere, in the air, whatever. A lot of the stuff you're putting into your body and into your face might be toxic, right? So no, read the ingredients, do the research. Let me down below. If you're an expert, you're another chiropractor, whatever, you know all the research on coffee, you have it at your fingertips. Boom, put the links down below, and then the people can see the research. When I did my toxicology presentation senior year at Life Chiropractic College West, my presentation was just stuffed with research. Like, you want to see where I got it from? It was all about the research. So it's just presenting the research. There's so much research out there these days. And, every quarter at Life Chiropractic College West, they're doing toxicology presentations. And if they got 50 students in the class, there's usually one who's doing caffeine. It pretty much gets done every quarter, right? Coffee, caffeine. So, whatever. It's growing. There's more and more research every year, I'm sure. Is it biased? Coffee industry, millions of dollars, drugs, or drug dealers. Is that your opinion? Well, put it down below. It is arguably the most widely distributed and acceptable drug in all of the world, right? And it's probably a $1 trillion industry. So there's got to be money bias, of course. But we're not trying to be biased. Certainly, even though I keep plugging this product and pulling it into the camera view, it's not, they're not my sponsor. And I don't have any, coffee sponsors. And so if anything, I think I'm kind of almost anti-coffee. But it was a young age. My grandmother, not my great-grandmother, she used to make icing for the cakes, chocolate icing, and she would use coffee in the mix. And so at a young age, I would lick the bowl and the icing, and we get coffee, caffeine addiction at an early age. So maybe that's why I was a hyper kid. I'm pounding the sugar in the coffee in the icing. It's like my favorite food. I actually go to my brother's house. He'll have a little jar of icing for me because, like, I'll break into their cake icing, jar and get a spoonful out of like some chocolate fudge icing as a snack. And then when they go to ice their cake, they see a tablespoon missing. You're like, what the heck happened to this icing? So they buy an extra one for Uncle Troy, basically. Like, Uncle Troy, we got you your own jar of icing. And so that's where my coffee addiction began. Are you addicted to coffee? Do you need help getting off it? Maybe we can help you. We're not going to have much one-on-one coaching available much longer. That's going out the window. It's pretty much already out the window. So you're going to be stuck with videos. Not stuck. It's probably better. You can rewind and rewatch it, all that good stuff. And I don't have to keep repeating myself, right? Get a little more leverage, help more people. That's what it's about. But we can do some hand-holding. Videos are going to be out. Again, DCTROY.LIFE. For right now, we're here on YouTube, but we're also on BitChute. Check us out on BitChute, DC Troy on BitChute. Not a lot of videos there. There's only a couple. I think it's just a little easier, and we got a much wider audience. Well, we got 6 subscribers, but when I'm not banned on Facebook, I can promote my videos a little. We get a lot more viewers. So we used to have 150 subscribers till we got taken down. So we could probably get back there pretty quick, I think. It's not a lofty goal as far as YouTubers go. I mean, 150 subscribers isn't going to break any records other than my own. So subscribe, share. Right now, I can't even promote on Facebook, people. So, help a brother out, help your friends out, right? We need this information. The Gr8 Coffee Debate. We should all know. It should be common sense, I think, right? Like, people should know the research on coffee. Yeah, oh, yes, organic is beneficial up to 2, to 5 cups a day or whatever, or 1 cup, per gram of, kilogram of body weight, or, however it works out. Because I'm sure once you push past a certain point, it's going to be less beneficial. Or maybe I'm not so sure. Maybe I'll be enlightened by the data and the research. So whatever you know, hit me up down below. I'm certainly interested in the horror stories. If you got little video clips or whatever, maybe we'll post them. Send me your video clips or your links. Send the links. Put the links down below in the comment, and then we could see your video. All right, and maybe you melting down on coffee, or you ranting about how you melt down, or how you can't live without it, and you'll die without it, and you couldn't imagine a life without it. That'd be fun to see. So, you know what I mean? Don't be shy. Put it out there and let the world see it. I think you're going to help people, okay? We need to see the truth. We need to know where the dividing line is, right? We don't want to live in a gray area of disinformation or misinformation. We want to know specifically where to go and optimize our health. And if coffee or caffeine is going to detract from your success and your health, we want to try to avoid it. That might be the best move. I don't want to make that broad recommendation across the board. When, doctors like John Bergman say there's research to support that coffee is good for the thyroid, and when it's organic only. So I don't know if there's more specifics to that. We definitely need to get into it and find out. But it's so common. Like, a lot of people are drinking coffee. I mean, I don't have to know the numbers and the research, but I'm sure it's a large percentage. And, all you got to do is take a walk in the morning, right? Go to the grocery store, go to any little shopping strip mall. There's coffee being bought and sold in the gas stations. It's everywhere. And people are like zombies. Me too. I remember waking up early, going to work, half asleep, and you get that cup of coffee, all of a sudden the lights come on. And you're like, hey, all right, I'm ready to go to work now. So I get it. I've been there. All right, I see both sides of the coin. Even though it's easy to see I'm kind of biased against it, and I'm not a big coffee fan because I tend to more melt down and get jittery and anxiety. I certainly have had my share, and in different forms. And it seems like green tea doesn't affect me so much like that at all. Probably a better form of caffeine for me personally. Let me know your experience. And what I know about the research and the data is a lot of antioxidants in the green tea. So I think that's a better way to go. But we're not making any recommendations specifically here. We're just trying to, get the information, suss it out, and get to the truth, right? We don't want to be right. We want to know what's right. So it's not about me and my ego and what I think, or, who knows what the research to this point has shown. Maybe we're taking a turn, and the newer research is showing us, enlightening us, and, perhaps we're turning around or whatever on this subject. So hit it up down below, DCTROY.LIFE. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Maybe we'll have some guests. We'll have some interviews. Like I was saying, Amanda Vollmer. Maybe we could get, Rhonda Patrick. Who was it? Chris, what was the guy who used to go on Rogan? Chris something. I don't know, maybe we get some health experts. put your names and suggestions down below, right? For the top experts, we got Gr8. I've seen him around the scene. He's an addiction specialist. He's a great interview to have, wealth of knowledge, enlightenment. So I'd enjoy having him. I don't know if we could get him, but who else? Pete, Ray Pete, Amanda Vollmer. Yeah, I know I'm missing a lot of people, but we could have athletes chiming in. That'd be interesting. Maybe fighters, UFC guys, professional athletes. They use a lot of caffeine and monster drinks. It'd be interesting to hear what they say. You know, if maybe they used them for a while, then got off them, or had some bad experience with them, or who swears by them, and everybody's looking for that little extra edge, right? That little extra boost. So hey, whatever's clever, whatever's working, I can't argue with success. You can't argue with the data. You know what I mean? You can interpret it, but the numbers don't lie. So we're going to see, people. We're going to delve into the PubMed stuff, top level research, medical research, National Institute of Health library. We want to have, the natural health community chiming in. Dr. Bergman says he's getting us some research on the organic and how the coffee can, be beneficial to the thyroid if it's organic. So we want to see what that research says and make it available to you guys. And, I'm going to do what I can, but I'm really putting it out there for you guys to help me. And so, that's why we got the comments open. If you can put your links down below. You don't have to be a health expert. You could just drop a name of your favorite health expert. Who was the other guy? CB. A lot of people always chiming in with CB, right? And was it CB? Sebi. And he's into like the blood type, and so people might have, whatever. If you're a certain blood type, it's good for you. If you're not, it's bad. The alkalinity and the acidity and how it turns your blood, and it's not much of a wide range there. But certainly we like the body to turn alkaline, and interesting health benefits to that, right? So people talk about acidity. The coffee is acidic. I can test it. I have a pH meter. We can do that on the next one. On the next video, we'll do that. All right. So whatever. If you got research comments down below, is it acidifying the body? Is it ultimately alkalizing the body, the blood, the tissues, the urine? Certainly when I drink it, I do feel the effects. So I don't think it's placebo. Okay. Diuretic, I'm sure if you're bloated, might be a good thing, but most people are probably dehydrated. So we want to try to avoid diuretics. So I'm going to just go with hydrate. All right, drink some water. Get some distilled, charge it in the sun. Get on to Jack Kruse, Kruse. Interested is what he says about the coffee. From his teachings, it's going to be coffee beans grown in certain regions, I think, are going to have different electrical charges and molecule shapes in the water, and the deuterium in the water inside the beans or the fruit, okay, is going to make a difference. So yeah, it's heavy stuff. It could be very complicated. We don't want to get too deep and get too crazy. We just want to say, hey, for the regular guy, is it okay to drink coffee? And where I'm sitting, I think if you got a cup a day, you're probably addicted. Maybe you could do 3 or 4 days a week instead of 5 or 7, right? Like when I was working, I would do 5 days a week. I would never do the coffee on the weekends, and that would keep me kind of from that daily and getting into the headaches. And I would have like 1 cup, maybe a large cup. But I put a lot of sugar and milk and almond milk and stuff in there. So if I have a 16 ouncer, it's probably 4 ounces of coffee. So I would do less than a cup a day. All right. And that can be addicting. Depends on your body weight, depends what you're eating, your fat content, a lot of factors there. Like I say, I'm not the expert. We want the experts to chime in. So put your links down below. Put your opinions and your anecdotes. I think that's going to be more fun than the expert stuff and the research, okay? So let's see what you say. Yay, coffee, thumbs up or thumbs down? Cafe de cafe, what do you think? Huh? All right, people. Peace, love, natural health. See you on the next video.